Christopher, are you about ready to get sick? Okay, well, I'll take you later then. I don't want you to get sick in here. You're okay?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get through it quickly. Name and date of birth.
Christopher Hernandez, 12.
Christopher, you're here on a new case, one charge, narcotic drug possession, class 4 felony. You will have the assistance of a court-appointed lawyer. Your hearings are all in downtown Superior Court in Phoenix. There's 3 of them. They're going to start next week, the week after. So you have 2 hearings on Monday the 5th. And that's going to be at 8:30 in the morning for a status conference and 1:30 in the afternoon for an evidentiary hearing. You're back in court 2 days later on Wednesday, August the 7th, and that's for a preliminary hearing. So Monday the 5th, Wednesday the 7th, your lawyer will be there. Christopher, you're held non-bailable right now. You're not eligible to be released, and it is because you were already on release in another felony case when you picked up these new felony charges. So the first time you'll find out if you're eligible to be released would be Monday the 5th at 1:30. That's your evidentiary hearing. That judge has the authority to, okay? Thank you, sir. All right. Mr. Caros? James Phillips, you're going to follow. Good morning. Right back here in front and there, behind that podium. So let's start with your name and your date of birth. Thank you. All right, so you have 2 cases we need to talk about. You picked up a couple of charges today that are new. We're going to talk about those first. Then you had a warrant for missing a court hearing in another case. We're going to talk about that second. Now, the new charges you have, drug paraphernalia possession, class 6 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, class 1 misdemeanor. Now, on those 2 new charges, you will be defended by a court-appointed lawyer. All of your hearings, they're going to be in the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. They're going to start out in the South Court Tower. The first hearing you have is called the status conference. It will be Monday, August 5th at 8:30 in the morning. Then you have an evidentiary hearing later that day at 1:30 in the afternoon. And then you're back again on Wednesday, August 7th at 8:30 for a preliminary hearing. Now, you are in the same situation as the gentleman just before you. You were on pretrial felony release in another case, and now you've picked up a new felony charge. And that makes you ineligible to be released at this kind of a jail hearing.
Okay.
You do have to remain non-bondable here in Maricopa County Jail at least until August the 5th when you see the judge at your evidentiary hearing. And that judge will have the authority to let you know if you can be released or not, but I don't have that authority. Now, you do have that open felony case. There was a warrant for missing out on a status conference. I have set those new hearings up for you, and to make them convenient, I put them in the same courtroom at the same date and time as the other hearings. So Monday, August the 5th at 8:30, Wednesday, August 7th at 8:30. You already have a lawyer appointed, so we'll make sure that you still are represented, and your bail is $500. And that is secured. It will allow you to work with a bail company. But right now, don't try to post any bail on that case because you're being held non-bondable on the new charges. As soon as you find out if you're eligible for bail on the new charges, then you can start thinking about posting your bail, okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. James Phillips? Okay. And then Daniel Baez, you'll be next. James, good evening. Tell me your name and your date of birth to start.
James Phillips.
All right, so James, 3 cases we're going to talk about. The first are the new charges you just picked up. Then we're going to talk about your 2 probation cases. Now, with respect to the new charges, there were a number of them, but there were some I did not find probable cause on. What I did not find probable cause on was taking the identity of another person, a class 4 felony. I did not find probable cause on 2 counts of dangerous drug possession, and those are class 4 felonies. What I did find probable cause on was 1 count of theft of means, class 3 felony, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, class 4 felony, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, class 4 felony, 2 counts of ag assault against a law enforcement officer, class 4 felonies, 1 count of resisting, class 6 felony, and that's it. Those are the charges. Now, James, you will have the benefit of being defended by a court-appointed lawyer, of course. I'm sure you knew that. You've got hearings coming up, downtown Superior Court, South Court Tower, Monday, August 5th at 8:30, Wednesday, August the 7th at 8:30, and your lawyer will be there to assist you. Bail is set at $2,500. It is secured, and that means you could use a bail bonding company. Now, James, you're on probation in 2 cases. All of the new charges that had probable cause, those are alleged term 1s. So I do have a probation hearing set for you. It's separate and apart from the ones I just gave you, and that's also going to be Monday, August 5th at 8:30. Probation court is down in the basement of the Central Court building downtown, and your bail is set at $1,000 in each case. So the total amount of your bail is $4,500. If you need help to post it, you could use a bail bonding company. Just make sure that if you do bond out of custody that you don't miss any court dates so you don't risk losing your bail money and picking up warrants. Don't contact any alleged victim of the theft of means. Don't possess weapons, drugs, alcohol. Don't drive without a license. Call your probation officer within 72 hours if you do make bail. Questions?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Got
you.
your paperwork. All right. Mr. Baez? Ray, you'll be next. Daniels, come on in. If you could please start with your name and your date of birth.
Daniel Baez, 250.
All right. So you are here on 4 cases. The first case you had was a direct complaint, meaning that the state is deciding that they want to pursue some charges against you for March the 30th. Now, those charges are narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, Class 6 felony. On those charges, you will have a court-appointed lawyer to defend you. Your court hearings are going to be down in the South Court Tower of our downtown Superior Court Complex. Your lawyer's going to be there for you at all of these hearings, and the first one will be a status conference on Monday, August the 5th at 8:30, and you're back again for a preliminary hearing on Wednesday, August the 7th at 8:30. Now, bail has been set for you on those new charges at $1,500, and it will be secured to allow you to work with a bail bonding company.
Right.
Now, Daniel, you're on probation in 3 separate cases. The new charges are alleged term 1s because they, even though they occurred back in March, you were on probation back in March too. So your probation hearing is also Monday, August 5th, 8:30, downtown Superior Court, but in the Central Court building down in the basement. You'll have a court-appointed lawyer for all probation hearings, and your bail is $500 in each case. So the total amount of your bail is $3,000. If you need help to post it, you can call and use a bail bonding company. Just make sure that if you do bond out of custody, you call your probation officer within the first 3 days of getting out. It's important to do that. Don't miss any court dates so you don't risk losing bail money. No weapons, alcohol, or drugs. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Ray? Isaiah, you'll be next. All right, Ray, good evening. All right, can we start with your name and your date of birth?
Huh?
Can I have your name?
Ray Fluker.
And your date of birth. All right, so you're here on 1 count of robbery, Class 4 felony. You will have a court-appointed lawyer to defend you throughout this case. That lawyer is going to be with you at all of your court hearings, right? 2 of them have already been scheduled for you. They're going to be in the downtown Superior Court in Phoenix. They start out in the South Court Tower. The first one's a status conference on Monday, August the 5th at 8:30. You're back in court 2 days later in the same courtroom for a preliminary hearing, and that's Wednesday, August 7th at 8:30. And like I said, your lawyer will assist you with all of that. Bail is $1,500. It is secured. It will allow you to work with a bail bonding company. Just make sure that if you do bond out, that you don't return to the scene or have any contact with anybody that works there. Don't possess any weapons or drugs. And do you have any questions for me?
Can I ask for OR bond? Because, I'm homeless. I don't have any way of paying bond, man.
Understood that it might be difficult, if not impossible, to post bail, and I understand that, but given the nature of the charges, unfortunately, at this point in time, there would be bail to pay. You can always try using a bail bonding company, see if they can help you get out, but I understand it might cause a hardship for you, but at this point in time, there is bail set for you, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Isaiah? Isaiah, can I have a name and date of birth for you?
Isaiah Francis.
Thank you. All right, so Isaiah, you are here on a probation warrant. Now, your probation officer did allege some violations of your terms. Those are terms 3, 5, 12, and 15. I do have to have you go to probation court, talk to your judge about that. You don't have to do it by yourself. You will have a court-appointed lawyer. Now, if you haven't been through probation violation court before, it's in the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, Central Court building down in the basement. That's where your lawyer's going to be waiting for you in that courtroom, and your judge sets your bail at $1,000. Now, it is secured, and it will allow you to work with a bail bonding company. And if you do bond out of custody before your probation hearing, just make sure that you contact your probation officer within the first 3 days. No weapons, alcohol, or drugs. Don't drive without a license. So remember, downtown Superior Court, Monday, August the 5th at 8:30, okay? Questions? Thank you, sir. All right, Laura, Henry? Laura, good morning. All right, so tell me your name and then your date of birth.
Laura Jean Henry.
Thank you. All right, so Laura, you're here on your 2 probation cases. It's the same reason in both, and that is your probation officer did violate you on 4 terms. Those are terms 3, 4, 5, and 15. So your probation judge needs to see you about those alleged violations, and the first day that we can get you into probation court is going to be on Monday, August the 5th. It starts at 8:30 in the morning. Superior Court in downtown Phoenix in the Central Court building downstairs in the basement. You will have a court-appointed lawyer for all probation hearings, and the bail that's been set for you is a total of $1,200. It's $800 in one case, and it's $400 in the other case. Now, that $1,200 is secured, meaning that if you need help or assistance in posting that bail, you would be eligible to call a bail bonding company. Just make sure that if you are able to bond out, that the first thing you do is call your probation officer within the first 3 days of leaving jail. Don't possess weapons, alcohol, or drugs, and make sure you always make your court appearances so you don't risk losing any bail money and picking up a failure to appear, okay? Any questions? Thank you, ma'am. William Castillo, and then Nicole, you'll follow. William, good evening to you. All right, so let's first give me your name and your date of birth.
William Castillo.
Thank you. All right, so William, you're here on a bench warrant that issued for failing to appear at a status conference on a drug charge you picked up in January.
Correct.
Now, it is the charge that you were on a diversion program.
Correct.
But the state did take you off a diversion because they are intending to proceed with the case. Now, the court did mail out a notice to the address that they had on file at the time that you went on diversion, and for whatever reason, I don't know if you moved, maybe you got it, maybe you didn't, I don't know, but the court did the best they could to try to let you know about it. When you didn't show up, a warrant did issue for your arrest, so you got to go back to court. That hearing is going to be on Wednesday, August 7th, 8:30 in the morning, and that's going to take place in the Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, in the South Court Tower. Bail was set at $500. It is secured, and that will allow you to work with a bail company if you need help.
Okay.
Just make sure that if you do bond out, you don't miss that hearing on the 7th. Now, you've already been working with a lawyer, so we'll make sure that that lawyer knows you're going to be back in court.
Okay.
And do you have any questions?
I'm not eligible for OR?
No, not at this point in time.
Okay.
And that's only because if I found that there was some, like, for instance, like you didn't get notice or we weren't mailed to the wrong address or something like that,
Okay.
that would be a possibility. But at this point in time, like I said, the court did everything they possibly could to try to get you notice of it. And
Yeah. I drove downtown. I just didn't make it in time, and that's the only reason why I didn't show up to court.
okay, all right. You had at one point, I know the court had put you on a pretty large bail amount the first time you came through. It was like a $5,000 bail.
Correct.
And I know the court apparently decided to go ahead and release you at one point in time. But like I said, the $500 is certainly a big reduction from where it was originally. But like I said, we did try to get in touch with you or whatever. And I know it's if you don't get there in time, and I will just tell you, The only reason why they issue warrants when people don't show up on time is because it's so crowded and your lawyers end up having to go to different courtrooms and they just can't get you in. So.
No, and I was aware of the court date, so I just didn't show up on time, like I said.
Yeah.
All right.
Understood. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Nicole Morrison? All right. Nicole, can I have your name and date of birth?
Nicole Morrison, winning.
Nicole, you're here on your probation case. Now, you did allegedly violate some of your probation conditions. Those are 6, 7, 12, 17, and 22. So I do have a probation hearing scheduled for you next week, Monday, August the 5th at 8:30 a.m. You will have a court-appointed lawyer for that, and that will take place in the basement of the Central Court Building, downtown Phoenix Superior Court. That's where your lawyer is going to be waiting for you, is in that courtroom. Bail was set at $500. It is secured, and you can work with a bail bonding company. Now, if you do bond out of custody, the first thing you need to think about doing is calling your probation officer within the first 3 days. Don't possess alcohol or drugs, no weapons, and make your court date, okay?
Is there any other way that I can get order, or does it have to be bailed out?
No, yeah, you do need to be bailed out, especially in a probation case. And unfortunately, there are several, it's not just one alleged violation, but you have several alleged violations. It says that the last time that your probation officer heard from you was last year.
See, I submitted my
in June.
my warrant, because I have like staples in my leg right now. 45 of them actually like current. I was in the hospital for 3 months, and I contacted her when I got out last month, and she said just submit the paper to squash my warrant, and so I submitted that to the courts when I got out of the hospital. But I guess it hasn't been filed yet. But
yeah, and I'm looking at your probation notes.
Yeah.
The last probation notes was from today. You got arrested and you're in probation violation proceedings. Before that, the last time that there's any note was October of 2023 when they received a text message from your mother.
Okay.
So right now, that's the last that the probation officer is even having any notes was from October.
Okay.
So unfortunately, this warrant issued several months ago. This September the 5th of 2023 is when the warrant issued, so you've been on warrant status for several times. So there will be a bond. It is $500, and you can use a bail bonding company if you need help, okay?
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening. All right, can I have your name and your date of birth?
Jamie Donald Harvey.
All right, hold on. Castillo. The gentleman. All right. All right, so Jamie, thanks for the name and date of birth. Okay, so 2 cases we got to talk about. You got arrested on some new charges. We're going to start there, and then we're going to talk about your probation case because you had a warrant out for your arrest, and that was for a completely different reason. Now, Jamie, the new charges you had were dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. When I reviewed the police report in connection with this, I did not find sufficient information to find probable cause at the present time.
Okay.
So, on that case, there are no release conditions because when I don't find probable cause, there's nothing I can do. Now, the state still has time that they can file charges on that case, okay? And because there is a possibility that they could correct the errors that I saw, I'm going to make sure that you have a court-appointed lawyer. I'm going to give you a couple of court dates just in case they file charges, and that's going to be on Tuesday, August the 13th at 8:30, and Thursday, August 15th at 8:30. Now, how will you know if you need to go to court? I'm going to put a telephone number on your paperwork for court administration, and you can call that number a couple of days before that first court hearing, and just ask the person on the phone whether or not you need to go to court on those charges. If they say you don't need to go to court, then don't worry about it, okay?
Okay, yes.
If they
Your
say
Honor.
you do need to go to court, then make sure you're there, otherwise a warrant gets issued, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
All right.
I understand.
Now, what's completely separate and apart is that even if you didn't have that interaction today with the police on the new charges, there was already a warrant out for your arrest on your probation case. Now, the alleged violations of your probation terms were 3, 4, 13, and 15. I'll make sure that you do have a court-appointed lawyer, because you do have to go to court for sure on that one.
Yes,
And
Your
that's Monday, August 5th at 8:30 a.m. That's in the Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, in the Central Court building, and your bail is set at $500.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
It is secured. You can use a bail bonding company. If you do bond out, just make sure that you call your probation officer within 3 days. Don't possess alcohol or drugs or weapons. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Can you just let Castillo know does Castillo know he's being released?
Yeah, I gave him the newspaper.
Okay, good. All right, Cynthia, come on in. All right, Cynthia, can I have your name and your date of birth?
Cynthia Ann Ochoa, 6.
Thank you, Cynthia. All right, so 2 cases. The first case we're going to talk about is your probation case. There were some alleged violations, and those were of terms 5, 6, and 15. You do qualify to have a court-appointed lawyer. Your hearing in probation court is going to be next week on Monday, August 5th, 8:30 a.m. That's in the Central Court building of downtown Superior Court, and that's where your court-appointed lawyer is going to be waiting for you. He's in that courtroom. Now, bail was set at $250. It is secured to allow you to work with the bail company. Now, if you're intending to bond out on that probation case, call your probation officer within the first 3 days. Don't possess weapons, alcohol, or drugs, and don't drive without a license. Now, the other case I have for you, Cynthia, is a misdemeanor warrant out of Goodyear, and this one was for failing to pay fines on a shoplifting charge from 2017. I do have a court hearing for you. It's going to be Wednesday, August the 7th, 8:30 a.m. in Goodyear Municipal Court. I've reduced your bail in that case down to $50, from $1,500 down to $50, and you need to make sure you make that court date on the 7th.
When I was incarcerated, I went to the Goodyear court, and they gave me time served and no paid fines. And I did that when I was in here, like 5 months ago. I went to Goodyear court. You guys took me there.
Okay. This warrant just issued in May. So this was just like about a month and a half ago. Well, no, 2 months ago. It was about 2 months ago, this one. Why it issued, I don't know. I know if you think you have time served, that argument has to be raised with that judge.
Okay.
Because I don't have Goodyear Municipal Court's court records.
Yeah.
I have Superior Court. I could look and tell you about everything in the world to know about your probation case, because that's here in Superior Court. I have all the facts on that.
Okay.
What I don't have is Goodyear Municipal Court records. So if that judge told you when you went out to Goodyear that you got time served and this is all over with, then you're going to need to find out why in the world did you tell me I got time served and then you issued a warrant for my arrest.
Yeah, because I was arrested.
I can't tell you. I have no idea. But what I did do for you is I took that $1,500 bail that they wanted me to hold you on, and I knocked it down to $50.
Thank you.
So I tried to do the best I possibly could under the circumstances on a misdemeanor warrant for you, but it's the best I can do here. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
So how much is my bail?
The whole thing is $300.
Thank you.
You're welcome.